Good morning, good morning. This is Jacqueline Richardson, Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie Deja, whatever y'all call me. We got to be thankful for waking up once again. Another day, our eyes are open, feet on the floor. We must thank God, y'all. Let's check the weather here today in Charlotte. Alexa, what's the weather today here in Charlotte?
Currently, in Charlotte, it's 44 degrees Fahrenheit with showers. Today, you can expect rainy weather with a high of 54 degrees and a low of 44 degrees.
Ugh, it's raining. Don't like the rain here in Charlotte. It bothers my allergies and sinuses. But hopefully once the rain is done, I'm going to clear up. So that's the good thing about it. Well, today I'm just going to do random talking today. I want to touch base on a little bit of everything, not just one subject, because so much has happened within the last few days. It's like there's so much, so I just want to touch base on some things. Well, first I want to tell you guys, y'all can go over to Miss JJ Entertainment. I have loaded some of our songs, and y'all can listen from there. So y'all check that out, Miss JJ Entertainment by Miss JJ Diamond. So y'all can definitely check that out. Some of my music that wasn't republished. As y'all know, I went through, excuse me, a series of issues with republishing our music when all of our music was published through Google. However, Google decided to turn over a leaf and become like Apple. And they wanted to start all over and do things third party. However, that didn't work for me. That third party thing can always mess up stuff. However, it hurt me. I'm one of the labels that it did hurt because we depended only solely on Google. And once that happened, I had to find a third party to work with. And working with some of these third parties is the worst thing ever. However, some of the music they would take, some they wouldn't. They was just doing too much for me. And it's like, what are you talking about? All this music is been published already. You know what I'm saying? This music is already in ASCAP. I mean, I'm getting paid off of some of this music that's not even playing right now. So what is wrong with you people? You know what I mean? So it just didn't sit with me well. And so some of the music that was republished, wasn't republished. Y'all can hear on Spreaker, on Miss JJ Entertainment, or you can hear it on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts. So y'all just check that out. I did release a new song, a song that Jeremiah had wanted me to do 5 years ago. I felt like it wasn't for me, because, I come from the church, and, as church singers, we loud with it, we we not real subtle with especially when you have one of them, I don't know what to call it, a heavy gospel, I gotta find a word for it, y'all. But when you come from the church that be jamming, I'm gonna just put it like that, be jamming on Sundays, and y'all loud and y'all just praising God. You're not used to that subtle type of songs. You know what I mean? And I was contemplating on doing that song. It's called Love Don't Change. And I was contemplating for many years about doing this song. And I said to myself, this is not going to fit me, However, I tried, so y'all check that out and give me some feedback on it because I don't know how I did. I listened to it. And I say, 1 minute I say, okay, it's okay. But then the next one I'm like, this is not me, So, yeah. And then y'all can also download, I did a inspirational Sundays for people. It's called Sunday's Best, actually. I did for people to just have inspirational music to listen to, not only on Sunday, every single day. So y'all check that out as well. There's music that I listen to every single day. Not every single day, but when I need it, and it inspires me and it keeps me going. It reminds me, because sometimes we need reminders that God and Jesus is the ultimate, and they will get us through whatever we go through. So, therefore, I use some of these songs to remind me, even though we know it, but sometimes we need that extra reminder because our brains will get cloudy, when you don't meditate. That's why I tell y'all, make sure y'all meditate. Your brains will get cloudy, especially when you have so much going on around you, and it's just unreal, So sometimes we need that inspiration music to remind us and embed it in our head what we should be doing. We should be praying. We should be talking to God on a regular basis and following his lead on a regular basis. You know what I mean? So that's why I did the inspirational Sunday's Best. And it's a couple of artists that I love. Let me see. Who I got up there? The Mississippi Mass Choir. I love them. Oh my gosh. They get it popping, okay? They get it popping. If you didn't remember how much faith you had for God, best to believe they're going to put it right back in you. So, yeah, Mississippi Mass Choir. I love them. Then what else I have on there? I have Corinne Hawthorne. I love her. Y'all see my TikTok. I did her song, her TikTok. He won't. What is it? What's the name of it? Oh Lord, I forgot the name of it. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? I love that song. She's younger and she's from the new era, is what I'm saying. And she has done it with that song. So y'all check that out. And there's a few other songs I have on there. Y'all gonna hear me singing on there too. The Color Purple. God has something to tell you. It's trying to tell you something. Every time I hear that song, I have to sing it, y'all. So y'all gonna hear me singing on there, So anyway, yeah, y'all can download that or listen to that just to give y'all some inspiration. And I also added a friend on there that I had met in Harlem. Matter of fact, I wanted to talk about that a little bit. This is why I said this is a random discussion. I'm just going to talk about a little bit of everything today because so much has happened, like I said, within the last few days. First, I want to talk about a friend that I had met in Harlem. His name is Dante Hawkins. And yeah, it was while we in Harlem, then we're going to speak on something else. Anyway, I was at Harlem Week. This is when I had lost my home. And I had went home to try to get myself back in order. Sometimes when you go through things, sometimes going back home puts your mindset where it needs to be, to get you to move forward again. And that's what I had to do. So I went back home. And meanwhile of being at home, New York State turned up. So, they was doing things. It was summertime and end of the summer, right before school about to start. They give the different parades, and I was running around from area to area, and Harlem is where my people come from. So, I couldn't miss Harlem Week. I just couldn't, you know what I mean? So, had to do that. Even though I was living in Queens, I had to make it to Harlem, okay? Plus, I was in Harlem almost every other day, even though I lived in Queens. I just felt comfortable being in Harlem. I would have to come. Sometimes I'll drive my car because, coming across that bridge every day was very expensive. So what I would do sometimes is park my car in Queens and then take the train a couple of stops and I'll be right in Harlem. You know what I mean? So I'm like, good, this works perfectly. I didn't have to spend too much gas. Then I come do it again, get back on the train, get in my car, me and the kids, and we head back to where we were staying at in Queens. So it was okay for me, it worked. But that's my home. I'm used to being up and down Harlem all my life. So, but anyway, so Harlem Week, I had went and we had went to, where was we at? Where they had that stage at? I can't even remember, guys. But Dante Hawkins was singing. And I said, oh my God, who is that singing? Y'all know I love music. So I hear a beautiful voice. It's like, I gotta go. I'm going towards the sound, so I'm walking towards the sound. And I see him on the stage. And he's singing his heart out with his choir. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's just killing it. So then I got the chance to meet him. And when I met him, the first thing, people that's warriors of God, the first thing they're gonna do is invite you to church. That's what they do. And I've already been in the church for many, many years. So it was like that invitation was open. I'm gonna just say that. So I said, sure, I'll come to church. So church was the next day, I believe, or maybe a week later. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But yeah, I stepped up in the church. Me and the kids, and we really enjoyed the service. And Dante sung, and oh my gosh, the choir was there too as well. They just turned it out. I'm just gonna be honest with you. So that led me closer to dealing with Dante. So now, I'm trying to find out what type of person he is, because he's a really good singer. And the songs that he was singing was like so touching, like emotion, touch your emotions, your soul. So, I needed to know this guy. I said to myself, I need to know this guy. So we decided to hang out and go hang out at the parade in Brooklyn. And we had a ball. We had a good time. We got to know each other. We had fun, and I learned a lot about him. However, at the time, he was really trying to get into the music industry. And I was trying to pull him in on my side, but he's a gospel singer, and here I am, a rapper. So he couldn't see the connection. But even when you're a rapper and you a little bit bigger, I'm going to say this. In this world, okay, people are always going to take, and not saying that rap music is bad, because it's not. People are always going to take the bad over the good, okay, and try to shadow God, okay? But of course, being that I have God within me, I'm going to always find a way to uplift it, okay? So it was nothing like, to me, hanging out with a Christian because I'm a Christian, even though I'm a rapper, you know what I'm saying? I can still relate with my kind. Do y'all get it? I hope I'm explaining a little bit. But anyway, so I came to learn who Dante was, and he was a true Christian. So I was like, okay, so this is the type of person for me to hang out with, while I'm here in New York. But unfortunately, I had to leave, and come back to Maryland. So that kind of broke our ties, not totally, because we kept in touch for a little while, but it kind of broke it a little bit. And this is why we say you need to hang out with your kind. Because when you're with your kind, things are more peaceful. More things are happening for you, And I noticed that even though I had to go through things in order for me to leave New York, it set me in a better place in Maryland. Okay, even though it cost me, but it set me in a better place in Maryland. And Maryland got to see another side of me, other than that woman that's always running, working, taking care of the kids, helping out in the community, that they got to see a different side of me, and that was a beautiful thing. So it was a good thing that I had to leave New York, but I had to leave behind the people that I like to be with, so it kind of hurt me, but he kept on with his music. So y'all check him out. He's on Alexa and Apple and everywhere, so y'all can check him out. But there's one song, Alexa, quiet. Every time you say her name, she always want to run her lips. Anyway, I mean, not lips. She don't have lips. Her computer, whatever. She just gets on my nerves, y'all. Anyway, he is still making music. So y'all check him out. But it's this one song that I love so much, and I played it on my podcast. So y'all listen to that on Miss JJ Entertainment. It's called The Nation Is One. That song had touched me when I first heard that song. That song touched me so much. You hear me? And I held on to that song physically to get me through. And it's songs like that, the inspirational songs that will help you get through. I mean, really, really help you get through. You get up, you listen to them. It gives you that extra, I can do this. And sometimes we need to listen to these type of songs so we can get that extra push and say, I'm going to make it. you know. And he was one of the ones that I listened to every single day. Okay, when I was in the shelter, they could tell you if they see you in the streets right now in New York and they remember me, well, most of them do, because they buy my music, but they can tell you, yeah, she used to listen to that song every single day. Every day I put it on. I didn't have a radio with a CD player, so I would put it on the TV with the DVD player, okay, and turn it up and sing that song before I leave my room. You know, and I'll step out there. And y'all know I was still doing my nonprofit. So even though I was homeless, the business doesn't stop. You know, I was doing my nonprofit and I had to listen to that song to continue to say that it's gonna be okay. You know, you can still go out here and do what you need to do. It gave me the strength. So yeah, that's why I did the Inspirational Sundays for people that's getting weak, because a lot of people are committing suicide right now. They're getting real weak. They're bugging out, and the services that they deserve is not out here, you know, and people don't want to deal with too many people because they're afraid, or talk to too many people because they're afraid of what they're going to do. You know, you tell people something and the next thing you know, they're going running their mouth, and this is your personal business. You confiding in them and you trusting in them, and then they're going and they're running their mouths to other people. And you like, hold on, wait a minute. I told you this because I'm confiding in you. And you running your mouth. How dare you? You know what I mean? So we're going to take this thing now to where we're only going to depend on God at this point. You know what I mean? Because that's the only ones that we can trust. You know, it's God and Jesus Christ, because people are evil. Okay? This has happened to me several times. I'm a little bit stronger than others. You know what I mean? Because I've built on the faith of God. And when you go through a lot of things, and your faith gets stronger. So, especially when you see yourself come through it. That's what makes your faith even stronger. You know, when you go through stuff and you keep the faith, you continue to pray and live godly, you will eventually see your faith get even stronger and stronger, because you see, that's like, how can I explain it? I want to try to figure out how to explain it for you guys, you know, so y'all can understand where I'm going with this. It's like, okay, if you go to work every day and you get paid, okay, you know you get a reward for that money, for that work that you put in. However, the same with God and having faith. If you have faith and you get through it, you get a reward at the end, okay? And that's how God works, okay? But then your faith gets stronger because you say to yourself, I conquered that. Okay, so now I'm going to have more faith, and my soul is going to get stronger, so I can complete whatever I need to complete and move forward in life and stay godly. I hope I'm explaining it right, you know, because sometimes people say that I explain stuff and they don't understand. But I always tell y'all, if I don't explain it the proper way, for y'all to understand it, because, you know, you have different levels of people. And then I have different levels of people listening. So, you know, if you may not understand the way I'm explaining it, just ask me, email me, and I'll try to break it down another way. Okay, don't just take it for what it is. If you don't understand something, always ask. Always, no matter what it is. I don't care if a person gets agitated, you know, ask. Because you're better off asking and then assuming. Okay? So I just want, because you don't want to get the wrong thought about something, you know. Matter of fact, I'm gonna talk about something in a minute. Well, yeah, I guess I'll speak on it. But first, I'm going to talk about this issue that happened in Harlem. I'm very disappointed in Harlem. There's some boys, they hurt a woman in Harlem. You know, that kind of bothered me, you know, because that's not Harlem's, that's not their, that's not how they do things, you know, so, and she was just a random woman, you know what I mean? It's not like she was someone that did something to somebody, you know, she was just a random woman, you know, so I'm trying to understand, like, what was in their minds, I sit back, y'all, and I'm just going to tell y'all, I analyze things, okay? From the bad to the good, okay? From the good to the bad, I analyze it. And, people say don't overthink, but sometimes you need to think, You have to think things through before you make a decision. And my theory is why and what was these guys thinking of? What were they thinking of? And not one said, hey, man, nah, we can't do this. Let's go. What was in their heads is what's bothering me. Okay? If it was one person, okay, yeah, he's a little crazy, whatever the case may be. But we talking about, what, 5 boys? Was it 5? I think it was 5, y'all. So that doesn't sit with me well. And that one of them said, come on, let's just leave her alone. I seen this woman's face. Her face was all messed up. They bit her, I mean, I just don't get what was going on in their brain. Okay, I just don't get it. It's more to the story. Because you can't tell me each and every one of these guys are Looney Tunes. Okay? And not one of them said, stop. Okay? That doesn't sit with me well. They had one guy that I was looking at. He had asked her, they said he had asked her to pay for her drink. Something like that. And I sit back, my mother was a drinker, and she was the type that would go to the liquor store, after she come from work, it'd be dark, and I used to always tell her, Mommy, get your stuff in the day, wait on the weekend, but, she always want to go. And that's one of the things I used to worry about with her in the Bronx, However, to see this woman go through the same fear that I had for my mom, you know what I mean? But I didn't expect to see 5 men jump on a woman like that. You know what I mean? That just don't sit with me well. I just don't. It's not adding up. I've been in Harlem, and there's times that guys have tried to talk to me, and I'll tell them no. They may curse you out, call you a cot of bees, but they have never put their hands on you. Okay? And some of them, well, not really in Harlem, in the Bronx, they curse you out. In Harlem, I run up on, not run up, guys have run up on me, hey, trying to talk, whatever. And I'd be like, nah, I'm good, And they'd be like, all right, well, I'll see you on the next go round, They'll wait it out until they see you again and, try to smooth talk you, try to smooth talk you pretty much. Like, okay, if I see you again and just say hi, hey, Miss Lady, until they get that number, that's how they do. However, times has changed, people has changed, but I just can't see 5 boys, and not one of them said, don't do it, man, let's go. They had took it to what was said during all of that. Even though it wasn't right what they've done. But what provoked them, okay, to do something like that? And not one of them said, no, let's go, stop. That doesn't sit with me well. So you're telling me that all 5 of these boys were predators. That's what you're telling me. Okay? Predators do run in packs, but we're human beings. We're not animals. So I'm trying to figure out what was going on in their minds mentally. Each and every one of them. I need to understand because I'm not understanding. And when you don't understand something, then I told you this a few minutes ago, you ask. It just doesn't, when I don't respond to certain things, like y'all may see certain things go on I hear stuff on the radio and I'll see stuff on TV. And if I don't respond to it, meaning talk about it, that means I understand why it was done or the negative, why the negative happened. But if I respond on it, it's because I'm not understanding and I need answers. I need answers because 5 people, this sounds like what happened in Central Park. To me, I don't know if y'all seen the TV show. It's on there. It's a series. Is it a series? No, it's not a series. It's a movie about the 5 boys that was charged for the rape of a woman in Central Park long, long time ago. I forgot the name of the movie. It's on Netflix right now, so y'all can check that out. But it sounds like some nonsense like that. You know what I mean? She didn't die, and she got hurt, but that's what it sounds like to me. Okay? I'm just not getting it. So we're going to leave that. I just wanted to speak on that because Harlem is my home, y'all. Harlem is where, and the people in Harlem has always been good people. So I just don't understand how these kids that's raised in Harlem or in Harlem, that they're just straight crazy. What's going on? You offer to pay for something, so you don't need money. Did she do something to them or say something to them to make them react? Why would he just walk up to her and bite her? Did she do something to him? Did she stab him, spray him with mace? You know what I mean? Did she grab a hold of him some kind of way? Did they have some affiliation in the past? And he was trying to get back with her? So, what? It just doesn't sound right to me, people. It just doesn't sound right. It was that hungry where he just ran up on her and bit her? Come on. I know sometimes we be hungry, but he had money, so he could have bought food. So it just doesn't add up to me. So that's why I'm going to leave this right here, right now, because I'm taking too much time on my podcast with this nonsense that they creating up in Harlem, and I'm not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. So we're going to leave that where it is. But I do want to talk about colon health today, and I want to talk about Michelle Obama. She looked really good. And she had on burgundy, which we call burgundy. They have all these other names for these colors. I come from the old school. We call it burgundy. But anyway, and when I looked at her, the first thing I thought of, like I wrote posts on Facebook, I thought she wore red or burgundy to cover herself in the blood of Jesus because we're going through so much here in America. And, sometimes this is what we do. We wear red to cover us in the blood of Jesus, for protection, That's the first thing I thought of, And then when I looked at her, I kept looking at kidney beans, And Michelle Obama, she's into the health thing, So I don't know if the connection, when you look at a person and, sometimes you have a connection, through certain things with a person, you know what I mean? So, of course, I'm big on kidney beans. I keep kidney beans in my I keep a lot of beans, y'all, because you have to have the fiber, okay? And we've been, since one of our people in the entertainment business died with colon cancer, it has touched home to a lot of us, hey, it's time to clean our colons, y'all. We should have been doing this. But me, personally, I've been cleaning my colon all the time because I've always had an issue, not to put y'all in my business, but pooping. I didn't poop much. And I need to poop daily, So this is why I personally been eating lots of beans and stuff like that before they wanted everybody to start eating the fiber. Now, granted, y'all say, the wheats, get wheat bread, brown rice, all this stuff. Quite as kept. And I'm just going to give it to y'all, that stuff is not all that great for us because some of us can't digest it. Okay, it has to be refined, meaning broken down. It means cut. Okay, in order for us to digest. Okay, so it's your choice. It's your choice on what you want to do and how you want to do it. But it's really not all that great for us, like people think it is. Okay. And it's sad to say, people been eating this stuff all these years and they're like, what? You got to be kidding me. I've been eating this stuff. They told us it was good for us. But you got to do your research, people. And a lot of research comes not only with science, but with history as well. So when you're looking up stuff, look into your history too. So that way you can compare the two. And that's how you can see, what works for you. Okay? So anyway, wheat doesn't work for me, okay? Makes my stomach all bloated. I look pregnant. It hurts for days and days and days. I just go through it when I eat wheat bread, when I eat brown rice. It just makes me so sick, okay? I'm just being honest with you people. Quinoa I can eat. That's a grain that I can eat, okay? So everybody is different. And this is why you have to pay attention. Is this food that you're eating on a daily basis really good for you? Okay? However, beans, especially them kidney beans, okay, are very, very good for you, people. Y'all notice I make chili a lot. I'm always posting chili. You don't have to eat them straight up like I do because I'll eat them straight up. I've gotten to the point where, I just like it like that. I put it in my wraps. I make wraps on a regular basis, and I put it in there and get my fiber. And this is the thing that they want us to work on right now. I'm going to talk to y'all. I did some posts on Facebook about the avocado that I didn't know bled. And I had to find out what it was bleeding. I knew it wasn't blood. So I said I needed to find out what it was bleeding. And then the avocado seed, it healed itself. So I was like, I put it in water and it healed itself. And it's healed right now. Skin is peeling. And it's doing really well. What I'm talking about now, your mind, y'all, I'm talking about an avocado seed. Okay? Not a human being. I'm talking about an avocado seed, but it's God's work. Okay? Avocado is very healthy for us. So I'm going to be talking about the stuff that was bleeding out of the avocado tomorrow. We're going to have a long discussion on that because y'all need to understand what the specific substance can do to help us and harm us. Okay? So y'all need to know because you don't want to overdo it with this particular substance. Just like when you drink alcohol, we all know alcohol is bad for us. We know it. It's bad, 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 but we still drink it. Okay? Same with some of the foods we eat. But we don't want it to reverse its benefits. Okay? We want it to help us. So this is why we're going to be studying and talking about the tanning, the avocados, the fruits. I will be doing that tomorrow. So y'all look forward to that. We definitely going to touch base on that because y'all need to know the facts. But I also wanted to tell y'all. Now, I eat sunflower seeds. Not sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds. Okay? Pumpkin seeds, y'all Google it now. I want y'all to make sure y'all look it up. Okay? Y'all know anything I tell y'all, y'all can look it up and get the facts. I want y'all to do your research. Pumpkin seeds has a lot of benefits. Okay? Great snack too. Without salt. I know they don't taste so great. But you get used to it when you eat it. It also helps with things like colon health. Helps put good vitamins in your body. Do the research. Pay attention. And try to eat the best you can. I know we can't always afford certain things. Some people like, I'm going to use this for instance. Rich people Well, not rich, rich, rich. I'm not going to say rich, rich, rich. I'm going to say those that want to be rich can afford to be half rich. Okay, and I'm going to say half rich. Because they would spend $3,000 on an apartment in a beautiful building, but can't afford to eat healthy. Okay. Now, you living in this $3,000 apartment building a month, okay, for your safety, but you're killing your insides. So that doesn't add up to me. It's kind of backwards. You know what I mean? It's just kind of backwards to me. So I just want to throw that out there. You know, some people are more about what they see on the outside versus what's inside. Okay, when inside means more than anything. But I get it. People don't want to be in neighborhoods where they feel unsafe. And, you know, I get it. But if you can't afford to eat healthy plus live good, then something has to go. And you're going to have to deal with something. Because if you live longer, you might be able to get the money one day to live both lifestyles. Okay? I know it's confusing, y'all. But the world is trying to, well, the United States, I'm not saying the world, the United States is trying to get us to help ourselves. You're responsible for yourself. You know, the things you eat, you know. Because you got to remember, when you get sick, you go to the hospital, insurance is paying off a lot of money to get you back well. And it's not 100% that you're going to get back well. It may result in death. So, with that being said, why even put yourself in that category? You know, it doesn't make sense. Just eat healthy, deal with it, take care of yourself. Nobody's saying we're all going to live to 150 or 200 years old. But we need to prolong life. Because God didn't intend for us to die at 30. And people are dying at 30, at 40, at 50. People are actually looking at people that's 50 years old as being near death. How is that possible? I'm not even retired yet. You have to laugh at people. You know what I mean? You say to yourself, you know, they see me running around because I'm 50 years old. And they're like, how can she do that? She's old. No, I'm not. I'm just 50. I just made it to my golden years where my kids are supposed to be grown and I'm supposed to be having a ball. Granted, I'm stuck with the kiddies. And that also keeps me young because I'm always doing something. They force me to do stuff that I don't even want to do. Because whether you know it or not, laying down in the bed all day, it's not healthy. And I learned that back in Maryland. When I had my daughter, and I tell you about this story all the time. I had caught pneumonia. And, of course, I needed to lay down because I was sick. I almost died. And they would come every day and stick me in my stomach with this stuff. And I'm like, what is that y'all stabbing me with in my belly? You know, when you're in the hospital, you know, you always get an attitude because they always come messing with you. As soon as you get into a deep sleep, here they come waking you up. You got to take your medicine. We want to put through your IV. They want to stick you with it. And it's like, okay, can y'all just send me home? I'll get better at home because y'all getting on my nerves. But that's how I be at the hospital. So that was my first time ever being hospitalized for I would say 30 years. No, maybe 20-something years. Okay? So I was like, everything was new. You know, it's like, it wasn't that it was new to me, but, you know, things have changed. So I'm like, oh, these people are getting on my nerves. They just keep sticking me and doing it. Why y'all sticking me in my belly? Oh, well, we don't want you to get blood clots because you're laying down every day. And I was like, blood clots? Because that's the thing. In Maryland, a lot of people were dying from blood clots. So I was like, okay. So I had to do some research, So that gave me the time while I'm sitting there after they stuck me in the belly. Doing some research. Now, what about these blood clots and why and blah, 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 because your blood slows down, So I was like, oh, okay. So, yeah, laying down all day is not good for you. And when you got children, you can't possibly lay down all day. You got to get up and do some things, That's just what it is. So they're going to keep me young whether I like it or not, I got a 2-year-old I'm running after every day, a toddler. I'm still going to have young capabilities, okay? Plus, I was an athlete. So I'm going to still have that stamina. I work out. I do all these things. So how are you writing me off? I'm only 50. You know what I mean? I'd be like, please, people, get out of here with that negative talk. They'll make you think you old, like, oh, I'm supposed to be walking around limping. Because there's actually people that's in their 30s that's walking around limping. There's people that look younger than me, that look older than me, don't have any stamina, don't eat right. Okay, so it's a lot to this thing, and that's why we're going to touch base on that tomorrow so people can get right, and then the world can see what it really is, and then they can stop saying to me, well, you're 50, so you're old, you're supposed to be walking with a cane. No, I'm not. I'm supposed to be pretty and beautiful and thankful and blessed like I am. You're not going to change that, okay? So, because I'm blessed, because I learned the way of God early. God did it to me early. At 17, my belly was so sick. That's when I had lost so much weight. Let me tell you something. They put me through it. They said I had HIV. They would say I had everything, okay? But I couldn't eat. And when you can't eat, you're going to lose weight. I got down to 97 pounds, y'all. I was a mess. I wouldn't eat no food. And, shout out to my son's father. He the one who coached me back into eating, So I will always have love for him. He would sit there like I was a baby and like, eat. You have to eat. Just take a little bit. And I'm like, no, my belly. And he would coach me and then, okay, if I get sick, you going to be here with me? He said, yeah, I'm going to be here with you. Okay. Because there was times I was sick and I would be laying by the toilet by myself, and it was rough, you know what I mean? However, he coached me back into eating and gave me the confidence and to getting myself back together. And now I'm eating things that I never thought I would eat again, so I'm thankful for that. But we have to work on our health, people, because so many people are getting sick, and it's just crazy, how people, they wake up one day and they fine, and then the next day they dead, and you're like, what happened? Oh, well, they had this for a long time, and we didn't know it. But they was eating healthy, and so this is why we have to do our research, because I do know a lot of people that has passed away that's been health freaks. But they overdid it in their bodies. That's why you need to know the numbers. Shout out to Charlotte. They send out our numbers. When they take our blood, they send our numbers out to let us know where we are, okay, with our different vitamins. Okay, if we lacking, if we got too much, we need to slow down. Shout out to Charlotte for that. Shout out to North Carolina for that, okay? I can appreciate that. Because then I learned how to balance my everything. My cholesterol, my protein, lipids, and all that stuff. You learn how to balance all those things. So I love that. So we're going to talk about, some of the health benefits tomorrow. Vegetables, y'all, raw. They have to be raw, a lot of them. Okay? They don't really have benefits for you if they cooked, because you want to put water, you water them down. And then you have some things that is activated with water. You know what I mean? So you have to do your research on this stuff. And like I said, we're going to be talking about some of the things that I have encountered. And then y'all can do y'all research and start showing me some things down Facebook like y'all always do. And we can connect and see what's going to be best for us in the upcoming years with all of these diseases and viruses out here. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. This is Jacqueline Richardson, Miss JJ Diamond, Deja, Jackie, whatever y'all call me. I love you guys, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Stay safe.